Welcome to the walkthrough of entering the performance evaluation for supervisors. The purpose of this walkthrough is to familiarize supervisors with how to enter responses for the performance evaluation into the SharePoint system. Keep in mind, there are additional slide presentations available for additional training for the performance evaluation, as well as other topics related to the entire performance evaluation process and merit-based compensation process. Following the entry of the self-appraisal by your employee, you may begin development and entry of the performance evaluation. You will receive a link from the Office of Human Resources when the performance evaluation system becomes available, following the last day of the review period. This link is also available in a knowledge base article under the Staff Performance Evaluation category. Additionally, at any time, you may contact me or Cindy Tanteri, and we will provide you with this link or answer any other questions you may have about the performance evaluation process. For training purposes, I will be developing a fictitious performance evaluation using an employee that directly reports to me. Although the performance evaluations are similar for a professional and administrative staff and classified staff employee, I will be using the performance evaluation for a professional and administrative staff employee. Now let's begin. Let's assume you have clicked on the link provided by the Office of Human Resources to enter the SharePoint system. This is the page you will see. You will notice this page allows employees and supervisors to access a home page for the self-appraisal and the performance evaluation. Notice in the upper left-hand corner, you have access to goals in SharePoint, which you will need. The link entitled Staff Performance Development Goals is also a link to the goals system. Click on the Self-Appraisal and Evaluation Training link, and you will be able to access the available training for the performance evaluation system. Since we are focused on entering the performance evaluation, I will click on the Supervisor button, which will take me to my Supervisor page. You will see the self-appraisal section on my Supervisor page. A list of employees that directly report to me will appear here. Once the employee has completed their self-appraisal, I will be able to document and review. Let's open the icon and review the self-appraisal. Following my review, I can arrow back to the previous page. Below the self-appraisal section is the current employee evaluation section for my direct reports. Directly underneath that section is the second level report section, and underneath that section is the historical data section. Today, the most important line for me is the current evaluation for this review period, here. I will click on the icon and open up the performance evaluation. The top section is an automatically populated field with the employee's name, title, my name as the supervisor, the department, and the current review period. Underneath is a very important box which automatically adds additional questions if my employee is a supervisor. There are 12 basic questions in the professional and administrative evaluation and 6 additional questions for supervisors. If this were an evaluation for a classified employee, there would be 3 checkboxes, one for supervisors, one for police officers, one for custodians, groundskeepers, and maintenance workers. Classified employees have 11 basic questions. There are 3 additional questions for police officers, 3 additional questions for custodians, groundskeepers, and maintenance staff, and 5 additional questions for supervisors. In this case, my employee is not a supervisor, so I will not check this box. Also note a warning here to save your progress every 20 minutes. An alternative is to prepare your answers in a Word document and copy and paste your answers. Let's take a look at the first major section. This first section is the job definition section. The question in this section asks me to review the current job description and any task lists. If applicable, make note of any significant changes since last year's performance review. Please note that all job descriptions are available in alpha order in knowledge base under Human Resources, Compensation, and Job Descriptions. As we move through the performance evaluation, I will provide some tips and examples in an effort to provide some assistance with developing the performance evaluation. I have pre-prepared this example response that I have copied and pasted into this section. I will now read it. Cindy's current job description accurately reflects her job responsibilities. However, the task list has changed since the last review period. Since the last performance review, she assumed the responsibility for managing unemployment claims as well as coordinating random drug testing and oversight of managing customer service issues in the SharePoint goals and evaluation systems. In a moment, I'm going to be exiting this form, so I'm going to go ahead and save my progress. So I will scroll down here and click on Save My Progress. When you save your progress, it will take you back to the home page. You will want to reopen the current employee evaluation. The next section is a listing of the performance competency ratings as developed by the committees that formulated the performance evaluations. I won't read all the definitions of each competency rating because these definitions are reviewed in a slide presentation for employees and supervisors on performance evaluations. However, for our purposes, the ratings are from highest to lowest, exceptional, highly effective, proficient, inconsistent, and unsatisfactory. The new not applicable rating is reserved for employees that have not been in the position long enough to receive a rating for the relevant competency. As you rate your employees, do keep in mind that exceptional is considered a very high rating. We would expect it to be used in narrow circumstances where an employee has demonstrated exceptional performance. A highly effective rating is considered a high rating, and a proficient rating is considered a good rating. Please note that a rating of exceptional, inconsistent, or unsatisfactory requires the supervisor to provide an explanation or an example. The next section is the goals section. In order for you to evaluate the goals, you will want to review the employee's goals for this review period. You can easily accomplish this by clicking on the back button to the previous page. Click on the Goals Home link. Click on the Supervisor button. Click on the icon next to the employee and open up the goals and review. To get back to the evaluation, you will click on the back button again. Click on the Appraisal and Evaluation Home button. Click on the Supervisor button and reopen the evaluation. Now back to the goals question. Keep in mind you are not evaluating the goals individually. You are evaluating the accomplishment of all the goals during the performance evaluation period. Let's read the question. Successful accomplishment of goals during the performance evaluation period. In this case, I will choose a 4 for highly effective. The next section are the performance competencies. I will move through them rather quickly. However, I do want to provide an example of an exceptional rating and an inconsistent rating. Let's choose an exceptional rating for the first question, which requires an explanation. I will copy and paste my response. This employee consistently demonstrates a high level of skill and proficiency in the performance of her assignments beyond my expectations for her level for this position. She has not missed one deadline assigned to her over the last review period. In fact, her reports are delivered ahead of schedule with a highly effective analysis of the information from our review. For example, her most recent analysis of affirmative action data was accurate, precise, and delivered prior to the deadline. Let's move down the list and assign ratings to the additional performance competencies. I would like to choose one of the competencies for inconsistent and provide an explanation and example. So let's choose number 9, ability to work cooperatively as part of the team. I will choose the rating of inconsistent, which requires for me to give an explanation or example. I will copy and paste my answer. This employee has demonstrated inconsistent performance in the cooperation with other team members over the review period. On November 16th and February 19th of this review period, I met with this employee to review 2 separate incidents of yelling by this employee at other staff members following department functions. In addition, I have received 3 documented complaints of rudeness by this employee to students, which led to a documented oral warning on April 6th. Please note, it's important when providing an explanation or example to be specific when noting inconsistent or unsatisfactory ratings. Always use specific and descriptive language. Avoid meaningless language such as, this employee is not a good fit, or it seems like it is just not working out, or does not get along well with others. These are meaningless statements and are generic comments that do not communicate behavior to an employee that needs to change. Let's complete the rest of the evaluation ratings and move on to the next section. The additional comments section should be used to address other issues, concerns, successes, or provide overall comments regarding the employee's performance during the performance review period. I will copy and paste my response. Overall, this employee has demonstrated highly rated performance in 11 of the 12 competencies. This demonstrates that she can be highly effective in her role. However, her ability to cooperatively work with other members of her team must improve over the next review period. My expectation is to have no incidents of aggressive language with other staff members or reports of rudeness by students. Additional incidents will result in corrective action. This is an example of additional comments that clearly communicate the results of the overall evaluation while establishing expectations of improvement over the next review period. The bottom 3 buttons allow the supervisor to save progress, send an email, or cancel the work at any time and start over. The score calculation section provides a rating for the competency section, a weighted score for the goals section, and an overall final weighted score. In this case, the performance competencies was 75% of the overall score, and the goals was 25% of the overall score. Again, this is the final weighted score. I have to apologize for the overall rating. We added the overall rating to this form, which is new for this next year, but as of today has not been activated. This will be active and will calculate correctly when the system becomes available. In this case, this rating should be a proficient rating. The next section is the approval section. The first level supervisor can sign and submit. An automatic workflow email will be generated to the second level supervisor. The second level supervisor may add comments and approve or decline. If the second level supervisor declines, she or he should contact the first level supervisor and communicate the concerns. Once the second level supervisor signs and approves, the first level supervisor is free to conduct the performance evaluation meeting. Once the face-to-face performance evaluation meeting is complete, the first level supervisor will reopen the evaluation and click on I have met with my employee. Attachments can also be entered. Once the first level supervisor clicks on I have met with my employee, an automatic workflow email will generate to the employee who will click on the link in the email, open the evaluation, and acknowledge receipt. This completes the walkthrough of entering the performance evaluation for supervisors. Thank you.